All right, so when planning to do our canopy, we bought just the outside. We just bought the shell itself, and we thought we're gonna deck it out 100% ourselves, do bit by bit, and a lot of planning went into it, a lot of preparation, trying to figure out how we're best gonna use it. This is what we landed on. Now, this is our kitchen side. Now, one of the big things was that we wanted our kitchen on the same side as the passenger side and the awning, obviously. So when the awning swings out, we can still cook and everything underneath. Now, getting into the nitty-gritty of the canopy build itself, we started with an upright fridge. This is the 130 litre Bushman fridge. It is coming up 5 years old and still going strong, so highly recommend them. Now, we were able to fit in the 130 simply because we got the 1 metre high canopy. Now, it does look a bit funny when you're comparing it to the headboard of most trays, but it gives us so much more space inside the fridge. Now, it's off at the moment. It is a big fridge with a little freezer, so really handy. There's obviously always gonna be this gap here, and that's, I thought, beautiful for all the 12-volt stuff and everything that we kind of just want out of the way. So switches, monitors, all that kind of thing. And then I thought, what can we do with the rest of the space? Now, there's plenty of camp kitchens out there and drawers and that these days, aluminium things, whatever you're looking for. We went with AM Off-Road. The reason was because I loved their setup. I loved the black. I loved the shelves on the front of the pull-out pantry here. And what happened was that we bought this section and this section separately, and they worked together beautifully. Again, that was probably coming up 5 years old. It hasn't skipped a beat, and there's a few different variations to the AM Off-Road kitchens now. Still one of the leaders in canopy kitchens in Australia. Highly recommend checking them out. It would just fit perfectly width-wise, and then that, and I knew it was always going to have a little gap here. It's just how it turned out. But I thought there's always that stuff that you're gonna need to just shove down that side, or just extra crap that you end up with and you need somewhere to put it if it's too tall to fit elsewhere. So that gap does work quite well. We've got a lot of our cleaning stuff, gas canisters, dish bucket thingy, that kind of thing. So don't hate that little gap. It's actually quite good. Coming into the top part of this drawer system, I just built something myself. Now, I'm not handy at all. This bit of wood here, which supports the fridge, I just kind of chuck that on there, that attaches to the roof. And just having that shelf gives us an extra space where we wouldn't be able to store that stuff and this stuff together. So having double storage in your canopy saves a lot of space and gives you so much more room to move when it comes to adding in extra accessories. Highly recommend that. Having the kitchen set up like this is probably the most common way. I believe it is the best way. Now, other people might have differing opinions. The reason we set it out fridge, drawer, pantry is simply because if you're cooking here, you want to be able to easily get into the fridge, and then you can have that come out and use that space. You can, if that is out, you can grab stuff from the pantry, use it to cook and whatnot. The problem we notice in a fair few other builds is that the fridge might open a different way, or they've got the fridge in the middle and this there, and I guess a different combination I don't think works that well, but each to their own. I guess the only downside of having the fridge here is you can't open the fridge door the whole way, so certain things get caught. Not a big deal, but some people might want the fridge door to open right up. Again, we're able to have that gap, that higher space because of the bigger canopy, though most of these will fit in the 800, 850 canopies. Let's move on to the other side where it changes for each different person, but we'll have a look. On the back, just quickly, MaxTrax. Now, we get a lot of questions about how we hook our MaxTrax onto our canopy. These are just the MaxTrax pins. And I've just gone, you can't see I've got insulation, but there's a bolt there. I've just gone bolt through with big washers. And again, it's been on there for like 5 years. It hasn't moved. And we don't really do anything hardcore, so we rarely take them off. That's why we've got our Grab Me Gear bin on the back. My cousin built these, and again, I just bolted them straight on. They haven't moved for years. We keep it pretty simple here, nothing overly crazy. Lock that up, gas bottle goes there. And if you're wondering about this tap and why it's not connected, go check out our other video on how we installed the tank. All right, moving around to this side, storage. Look, for most people traveling, you're gonna have a fair bit of storage that's just looks a bit messy. When we first started, This was not here. This is probably in the last year we've added this freezer in. We had a big MRT drawer there, which we ended up getting rid of just purely because of weight. It was really, really heavy, and drawers make you kind of add that extra stuff that you don't actually need. So once we removed that, we were like, okay, we've got to sort this area out. We've got to keep it more neat and tidy. And by not having the drawer, that kind of forced us to do that. But this whole area here has always been purely storage. The reason it is because so much stuff is hard to put away. We've got mats, we've got our shower tent. Usually we've got the ladder in here for the rooftop tent. We've got a tool bag, we've got more mats, hose up the back, muck mats. So just this random stuff that just doesn't pack away neatly. So it is a matter of just like making sure every day or every morning when you're packing up that you're kind of putting it away in a relatively neat way. Now these Grab Me Gears bags are really handy. We store all our extra crap in here and they kind of stay sealed in a way. So we've just got like hammocks and fans and extra toilet stuff and 12-volt stuff and whatever you have extra. So that kind of all sits there. 2 of them is really good. I just built this quickly to store our chairs, first aid kit and that on here because it is a bit of wasted space having this here, but I just wanted to keep a bit of space for it to flow. Now this space here obviously always has to be for 12-volt stuff. You don't want your 12-volt area getting too crammed. As you can see, kept plenty of room for the battery. This is just extra wires and stuff I have. Everything's a work in progress, so I've got extra stuff here. And then my switches and circuit breakers and everything here. Our little toilet caddy thing there is just because that's just how it ended up being. And our trusty smoke alarm. Now, as we move up to the roof, fire extinguisher, fishing rods hang on that hook there and up to here. So I have put in some like random little hooks and stuff, which kind of give you that extra benefit of just being able to hang stuff. I wish we could have more storage up there. I'm just not handy enough to create the best way to store it up there. The best thing I did was put this table up here. Now it's kind of just higgledy-piggledy brackets from Bunnings, which the table slides into, and then I've just got one of these straps. I put it around there, pull it tight, it tucks it up there, and the table has been there for years and years. And it's just the perfect spot for it. It's out of the way, I don't need to worry about it. So the more things I could get up there, the better it would be. We do get a lot of questions about what roof racks we have on top of our canopy, because obviously you're gonna put a rooftop tent up there. These just came with the canopy. They're just simple ladder racks. Now I asked for 3, and I actually asked for a custom height on the ladder racks so I could put my awning on. And then look, it's very simple, very basic about how the rooftops sit on there. That's not for everyone, and if I did it again, and I could easily do it with this one if I had the energy, I would sit the rooftop tent flat. Obviously you're gonna save a heap of fuel doing it like that rather than having it higher and higher because our solar panels are on the top of that. That isn't a roof rack, it is a ladder rack. It comes with the canopy. If I have my time again, I'll do it differently. Our 30-second wing awning is attached simply through 2 bolts on the first and the last ladder rack, and it's really straightforward. There's nothing really special about it. It does sit really high. It is like one of the best accessories to have on your canopy. Another important thing, actually 2 important things, they both relate to keeping your canopy cool, is this insulation. Now, this insulation it's called, I forget what it's called. It's got a name. It's usually used for, like in buildings. You can get it different thicknesses and different sizes. I just got 2 big boards of it, easily cut it, little bits of ply with liquid nails on either side and stuck it up there. Now, it isn't fully sealed, as you can see, but when you close the canopy, it does get very close to the edge. It does hold a lot of heat in or out, depending on how the temperature is outside. I've done that on the back, because obviously when you're driving, you could have the sun beating on here and you just want to limit how hot the inside of the canopy gets. We did it on both sides. So as you can see, we've done it up here as well. Tried to cover it with stickers. It does get banged up. So like I would definitely suggest putting some marine carpet or something on top of that to really stop these big holes, because once it gets too damaged, it's going to really lose a lot of its effectiveness. As you can see, I've put it there as well, and it's underneath the carpet here. Didn't put it on the floor and didn't put it on that front door because that is kind of covered from any direct sunlight from the car. I did place the remaining stuff on our fridge though, on both the back, the top and the side. That's just a little hack I thought. I've got spare extra laying around and the fridge needs insulation, so it can't hurt, right? And it's still running strong, so it must, maybe it helps, I don't know. Anyway, so up the top here, it's quite hard to see. I'll just give it a point. That thing there is a hole which goes to what they call, I'm gonna say a muller vent. Now, I'm pretty sure it's a muller vent or a scupper vent. Do your research about your vents. The idea with this one is air goes in and through it and out the back, which essentially sucks air up out of the canopy as you drive along, creating kind of a suction in here. Even when the car is sitting still, having a vent up the top just gives somewhere for the hot air to rise and get out of the canopy. After traveling in this full time for 2 years, the canopy was always around 10 degrees cooler than outside. So something we did was working, and it kept our fridge and our freezer now running optimally. So that's the main things. I guess when you're talking power, we've just got one of these bad boys, which our solar runs into, our alternator runs into, and this is an output for our tent, and that's all the magic behind here, which I will do a video on, so make sure you subscribe. One last thing is this bad boy here, our little camera. Now, that camera there is essentially my rear view camera. It runs to the cab. I've got a thing that goes over my actual rear view camera, and then that displays in real time. So I've wired it so it's not always the reverse, because it's designed to come on when you put it in reverse, but I've wired it so when I've got the canopy on, it's always on, and that way I can see out the back, I can see when I'm parking, I can see the cars coming up behind me and all that kind of stuff. And it's not too bad in the dark. Definitely well worth having that attachment in your canopy, because obviously you can't see out the back window. And the last thing I'm going to touch on is how we attach our canopy to our tray. It is these. That is all we use, the 4 clamps. Now, a lot of people don't like them. A lot of people love them. We thought we'd see how they go. We'd be happy to put bolts straight through our canopy into our tray, but we just never needed to. It hasn't moved a millimeter with intense corrugation, off-roading, normal highway driving, doing the Vic High Country. It didn't move one little bit. You just got to make sure these are always tight. We go around, we check them quite often. It's held the canopy down to the tray, no dramas at all. So it's something that is personal preference. I believe that they are well strong enough to hold a canopy this size and weight. But if you want that extra reassurance, you can always put bolts through your canopy and into the tray just to make sure it doesn't move. All right, thank you for watching. Now we're gonna go through 12-volt stuff very soon, so hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more reviews and all that kind of fun stuff. See you next time, bye.